some point, you have to believe something. We've reinvented computing as we know it.
What is the vision for what you see coming next?
We asked ourselves, if it could do this, how far can it go?
How do we get from the robots that we have now to the future world that you see?
Clearly, everything that moves will be robotic someday. And it will be soon. We invested tens of billions of dollars before it really happened. No, that's very good. You did some research. But the big breakthrough, I would say, is when we...
That's Jensen Huang. And whether you know it or not, his decisions are shaping your future. He's the CEO of Nvidia, the company that's skyrocketed over the past few years to become one of the most valuable companies in the world. Because they led a fundamental shift in how computers work, unleashing this current explosion of what's possible with technology.
Nvidia's done it again.
We found ourselves being one of the most important technology companies in the world and potentially ever.
A huge amount of the most futuristic tech that you're hearing about in AI and robotics and gaming and self-driving cars and breakthrough medical research relies on new chips and software designed by him and his company. During the dozens of background interviews that I did to prepare for this, what struck me most was how much Jensen Huang has already influenced all of our lives over the last 30 years, and how many said it's just the beginning of something even bigger. We all need to know what he's building and why, and most importantly, what he's trying to build next. Welcome to Huge Conversations. Thank you so much for doing this.
I'm so happy to do it.
Before we dive in, I wanted to tell you how this interview is going to be a little bit different than other interviews I've seen you do recently.
Okay.
I'm not going to ask you any questions about
You could ask
company
me
finances. Thank you. I'm not going to ask you questions about your management style or why you don't like one-on-ones. I'm not going to ask you about regulations or politics. I think all of those things are important, but I think that our audience can get them well covered elsewhere.
Okay.
What we do on Huge If True is we make optimistic explainer videos. And we've covered...
God, I'm the worst person to be an explainer video.
I think you might be the best. And I think that's what I'm really hoping that we can do together is make a joint explainer video about how can we actually use technology to make the future better.
Yeah.
And we do it because we believe that when people see those better futures, they help build them. So the people that you're going to be talking to are awesome. They are optimists who want to build those better futures. But because we cover so many different topics, we've covered supersonic planes and quantum computers and particle colliders, it means that millions of people come into every episode without any prior knowledge whatsoever. You might be talking to an expert in their field who doesn't know the difference between a CPU and a GPU.
Yeah.
Or a 12-year-old who might grow up one day to be you, but is just starting to learn. For my part, I've now been preparing for this interview for several months. Including doing background conversations with many members of your team, but I'm not an engineer. So my goal is to help that audience see the future that you see. So I'm going to ask about 3 areas. The first is, how did we get here? What were the key insights that led to this big fundamental shift in computing that we're in now? The second is, what's actually happening right now? Well, how did those insights lead to the world that we're now living in that seems like so much is going on all at once? And the third is, what is the vision for what you see coming next?